All right, so we ended up with about two full sheets of sheetrock left after the bedroom was done. Technically three, but one I broke when I was trying to cut them by myself one day when Kim wasn't here, and left it, dropped it on the sawhorses, and it broke all over the place. But two good ones. So just mostly in an effort to get them out of the way off the garage floor so we can clean up in there. We're just going to finish this, as much of this wall, this side of the wall, as we can with what we have. Obviously the rest of it will be done whenever we get around to finishing this part. This area is the basement, but just getting stuff out of the way and using up what we got. Messing up my cinematic masterpiece, right? All right, well, the rest of the screwing here on this piece is in the corner. All you're going to see is my back, so we'll pause for now. All right, so we used up those two sheets of drywall that we had left. Got this part of the wall finished. Let's see on that end. I didn't go over the beam, where here I did, because our wall over here isn't quite, that we built isn't quite flush with the edge of the beam, so it was set back a little bit, so that lined up pretty good. Here it is flush, so later we'll have to figure out what we're going to do about this beam and how to get it all level, or whether we're going to do something more decorative up by the ceiling. So that's a problem for later, as is taping and mudding. So right now we're good, and now we're starting to mount the TV here in the bedroom so the kids can watch TV or play Xbox or whatever. So we got the wall mount on, ready to put the TV up. All right, TV mounting is complete. Got a 55-inch for down here, so it's all set up. And then, as luck would have it, as I mentioned when I put the closet door on it, right, the spacers that came with the rail kit didn't push the door far enough out to clear the frame around the door. So I had found some like hose, garden hose washers that I had in a set of washers, right, that they were right big enough to, pass the bolt, the size of the bolt that was there, and not fall inside the existing spacers. And so that's what I had been using. I had put two on each connection, but they were still not quite far enough out. It was just barely clearing, and right, obviously they're soft rubber, so they were compressing, and the rail was kind of leaning forward, and the door was too low and everything else. But so as it happens, right, the TV mount kit that I got, it comes with a bunch of different size screws and spacers and everything because it's supposed to fit pretty much every brand of TV and everything. So it had a set of spacers that were, taller than two of those washers combined and rigid. So I was able to take the rail off and remove the hose washers and replace them with the spacers from the TV mount. As you can kind of see there, it's a little bit smaller in diameter than the spacer that came with the set, but now the door easily clears and slides much more easily, and the rail is straight up and down and not leaning forward as it was before. So all good. Now I'm about to go out, and now that we used all the drywall that was sitting on top of the 2x6s I bought, now I can get to the 2x6s and make the Christmas trees that Kim wanted me to make like a week ago. That's what's next. All right, I'm going to start working on this Christmas tree, one or two of them. It depends how much wood we have. First thing I got to do is put the other saw blade back on here. So I put a finished blade on for cutting the floor for in the bedroom. So cutting 2x6s now, so I want to put the all-purpose framing blade back on so that it doesn't screw up the teeth. There, that's better. So I'll unplug it so that I don't accidentally start it and cut my fingers off. We gotta first undo this little screw that holds the cover down so that we can get it to the spindle screw. And then hold the spindle lock down while we loosen it. And then watch the screw fall on the floor into a pile of debris. Luckily, I found it. Hopefully you can see this blade is much coarser with fewer teeth on it. So cutting through lumber and things like that. Well, the other one's more for paneling and flooring, things that need a better. And of course, saw blades screw on the opposite direction. Regular screws, which I always forget, so I'm standing here trying to put the spindle screw back in, wondering why it's not going in because I'm turning it the wrong way.
How nice and big this garage is when there's room for it to work.
And that's Kim making comments in the background, coming out to take her compost out to the compost bin after she's just berated me for buying broccoli that's too small for whatever she had planned for. Now, broccoli tastes like feet, so I don't know why anybody would want to buy broccoli at all, but I brought what broccoli they had at the grocery store yesterday. Apparently it's not the right kind, but it's what we have, so. All right, blade is back on. We'll replace it. I've had this saw for a while now and still managed not to lose the tool that came with it to change the blade, so that's exciting. Plug this all back in. And now stand by while I go look up the plans that she gave me on how to cut these lumber to make this Christmas tree. Be right back. All right, so we're gonna make this tree that she found on Pinterest. It's just made out of 2x6 cut and nailed and screwed together and then painted in with some lights on. So I got two 2x6 by 8s here, I think. So we're gonna see how many, if we can get a whole one done out of here. If so, we'll make 2 of them. And if there's not enough lumber here to make the whole thing, then we'll make 1 and have some lumber left over. So I got to cut I think a 27-inch piece, an 18, a 16, and 4 14s, I believe. So that's probably right. It's going to be more than 1 2x6, but actually it'll definitely be. If these are 8 feet long, I believe they are. So I'm going to start marking and get ready to cut the length, and then I got to cut them at an angle on them. All right, we'll try this with the GoPro over here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see. Kind of far away, but that's I can do. I'm letting her get do it over here on the end of the saw. As long as I don't knock it on the floor. But I guess it's a GoPro. It's made to be thrown around. Alright, so we're cutting the 27-inch piece here first. So make sure I really measure 27. Yep. And my saw isn't running. So let's see what's going on. I think I just had it long ended of the extension cord plugged in the wall. With 2 extension cords. I have the wrong one plugged in, I believe. So there's our 27-inch piece. Well, the GoPro didn't quite survive the whole cutting process. Or at least its mount didn't survive it. Alright, so we got our 27, our 16, our 18, our 4 of our 14s. We need 1 more 14. I'm going to take a look. See if we got any scrap pieces of 2x6. Alright, so I got a bunch. Well, you need a different place for the GoPro. Alright, we'll give this one more try here, even though it keeps falling off. So I couldn't find any scrap 2x6. So I'm supposed to have a 14-inch long piece of 2x6 for the bottom, along with the trunk of the tree. But I don't have. I can make 2 whole trees if I use something else for that part. So I have a ton of scrap 2x4. So we're gonna double it up. And then that'll actually make it more stable for standing wherever they're gonna stand. So that's the plan. All right, All of our pieces are cut to length. Now we got to cut a bunch of angles. Alright, so now we're going to start assembling this thing. So we're going to screw it together, so I'm going to drill some pilot holes first so that we don't split everything. All the banging over there is kidding and possibly cleaning up in the middle of the project, as is our usual. And then you'll be mad at the end because it's dirty again and it's thought to be cleaned up. Alright, so top of the tree. Very exciting. Now we're going to start putting the other sides on here. Like a 2-inch overlap. Be nice to have a actual workbench or something to do this work on as opposed to a scrap piece of drywall thrown across some shaky sawhorses. For a lot of workspace or stability. So someday I'll get to the project of organizing and finishing the garage by its workspace. That's a Chris project, not the Kim project, so it's way up down on the list.
Oh my gosh, you're so mean.
Kim's whining that that's mean. I would argue that it may sound mean, but it's also oh, it's also kind of a pain in the butt to keep switching back and forth between drill bits and driver bits here. It'd be nice if you just have two of these drivers, so I could just have one with each bit, just keep switching back and forth. It's kind of luxury we don't have around here.
Kim won't let you have to.
That's right. We need two drills. That's a complete luxury, right? You could have a whole other Christmas tree for the cost of the drill. You could use that for 2 months a year, as opposed to a drill, which you can use all year. So that's just the most nonsense. All right. Now we got the top 2/3 of a tree.
It looks like a tree.
I will say that it does not take a lot to make her happy. For a short period of time. Because that will last.
Is this the Hate on Kim episode?
No, it's just, what's that say? It's Christmas time. At a Christmas time, we tell the truth or something. What's this Love Actually thing? I can't remember. You wouldn't know because you hate Love Actually. Because
I do.
for no apparent reason, don't think she's ever even watched the whole thing.
I know.
Somebody just told her at one point that Alan Rickman is a bastard.
I've seen it.
Emma Thompson, which I would argue that, I mean, yes, but not completely his fault.
Oh my god.
It wasn't. He didn't initiate anything. It was the trashy, slutty secretary who was hitting
Who
on
bought
him.
the necklace?
Well,
Yeah.
he's been being ignored for how many years at home by his wife who's busy making paper mache octopi and things like lobsters and crap like that for the Christmas play, and that's all she cares about, just ignoring it. You know, some other frankly not very attractive woman is paying attention to him and making him feel desired, and he got caught up in the moment and whatever. He felt guilty the whole time. He feels bad about it. I mean, it was a shitty thing to do, so I'm not arguing that, but like, he's not culpable on his own. There's multiple people to blame. But you know, if you watch that movie and then watch Die Hard, you'll see him get his comeuppance for how he treated her. Personally, I watched the movie for
Keira Knightley.
Keira Knightley and Hugh Grant. And the next other guy's name? Colin.
Oh, yeah, the one that sings the song. Or called him first.
Yeah. That storyline is interesting too. The one with the American girl with the brother in the hospital and the like, I just can't get into that storyline too much. And I don't know, Liam Neeson and the little kid and Claudia Schiffer is amusing as well. Keira Knightley is worth the price of admission for pretty much anything. Although it does appear that she has extra teeth in her mouth, if you ask me. More teeth than you should normally have. Something. I'm not sure what it is, but. I don't know if anybody's ever watched the deleted scenes from Love Actually. There's some really wacky ones. There were some along the storylines that just got completely removed from the movie, but Bill Nye's pretty good in there too. That's also part of it.
Bill Nye is a nice guy?
That Bill Nye. The guy who's the singer singing the Christmas is all around us. But with the whole deleted scenes where at the end where the little kid's chasing the girl through the airport as she's going home to America for Christmas, where they have decided that maybe he was also a gymnast, and so instead of just running through the airport and avoiding the security people, he was doing all sorts of ridiculous cartwheels and handsprings and flips and everything. It's an amusing and a deleted thing that would have been really stupid as part of the movie, in my opinion. But worth checking out though, you know, unless you got time off over the holiday, knowing what to do. And a completely unrelated note to that, another thing worth checking out, in my opinion, is the new series on Paramount Plus from Taylor Sheridan called Landman with Billy Bob Thornton, which is about he's the general manager of some mid-sized oil company in Texas, and there's only, I think, 5 or 6 episodes out so far, but I found it to be very entertaining. Highly recommend. those you're wondering what kind of projects we're coming up with next, getting to be the end of the year here, so gonna be doing things for Christmas and holidays. We're going on a trip at the end of the year, which will be a surprise on you too, but we're just downstairs measuring. The next thing I think we're going to do is build a closet in the basement under the stairs, just for general storage. So I did some measurements and figured out how many 2x4s and sheets of drywall we need, so I'm just going to price that out. See if we want to go buy it here before the end of the year or wait till the beginning of the year. I think we got a good door as well, but that would be quick projects for as well. Alright, so the tree is put together. We're just going to put this little base piece on, or pieces. Again, this was the one that was supposed to be another 2x6 piece, but would have had to use part of the other large one and prevented us from making two of these. So instead, I'm just going to put 2x4s on there. Center here. So, got enough wood here to make another one. What we don't have is enough screws. So, let's talk to Kim and see if she wants to wait till we get screws, or use or just nail it together. I'll probably cut it anyway so that I can cut all the wood so I can put the saw away and get out of the middle of the garage for a while. Alright, so Christmas tree assembly complete. This is what we got. So now we turned over to Kim to paint and I guess put some lights on and things like that. I don't even think she has some hooks for me to put on, which they want me to do. That's what it looks like. So we're gonna make another one either today or another day. And for once she starts finishing it, she'll start videoing that. Alright, that's it for the moment.
Okay, here's one of the completed trees that Chris put together. He already put on the hooks on the back. I asked him to put these on before I paint, because I'm going to paint those green as well. and I'm gonna paint this and then string them with lights. Just using a couple of different kinds of paint, using some just regular acrylic paint for the brown. The brown's just going to be this base. And then I got a sample size of paint at Lowe's. Just picked a color green that I like, and then just paid for the sample size of paint that is rated as outdoor paint, because I intend to use these outdoors. So now we'll paint. Alright, I should technically do the back, but I'm running out of my green paint, and I would rather have 2 coats on the parts that will definitely be seen than on the back side where the lights are going to go. So I'm going to let this coat dry and then put on a second coat, and then if I have enough paint left over, then I will do the back side. But from this perspective, you can't really see the back, so I'm not going to worry about that for the time being. And because right now I have 2 trees, I did get one done earlier. I'm going to light that one. I don't think I'm going to purchase more paint just to do a second coat on this one, because I think I have enough left to do a second coat after this is dry. So we'll let this dry, then put the lights on. Alright, this tree has 2 coats on it, so now I'm going to string the lights. These hooks that are on the back are to serve 2 purposes. Obviously, to put the lights on, but the reason that we went with these cup hooks is I can then take the lights off for storage for the summer, so that the lights don't get broken or ruined. So this will allow me to take the lights off just to make sure that they don't get broken. So all I'm going to do is zigzag them across and hook them through each of these cup hooks. This is a strand of 100 lights. We'll see. I think might end up being a little long. So strand of 50 with a couple of less hooks may work, but this one will really, actually, this might actually be pretty good here. It's a little close together. I don't think I like those. Maybe I'll come down to that one. I like that better. And then to there, and then down to here. And so a little bit of excess. So I guess that will just give me room to plug it in. Suppose. I'm going to see what that looks like without. Maybe I'll just kind of bunch these up to store there and then plug the extension cord in to see what it looks like. So once I have it plugged in and set up outside, I'll show you what it looks like once it gets dark. Alright, super fun project! These turned out super cute. So this one, the strand of lights, has 50 lights. It fit perfectly. This one, it's a strand of 100 lights. You can see the extra lights pulled up there in the back, so I need to get a strand of 50. I need to adjust those hooks on the back too, so that those lights aren't poking out the sides, but super happy with how these turned out. They look awesome, and they should not get blown over like some of my other Christmas decorations out here.